good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipo Makwa, Standing Bear, Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author. And welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really just implies that we are the Medicine Circle. That means we're all equal here. That means that that I'm in the service of the Great Spirit and I'm in the service of the circle. There we go. Service of the circle, and really, there's no other place that I'd rather be than sitting in circle with you this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. Um, we are worldwide, and yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that we get to sit in a circle that's this global, and that's this global circle, and we just talk about good things here. We really do. We take our time. We laugh, we cry, and we just really have a good time here. And that was a comment from a woman in Europe yesterday. I think it came in after the circle, and I appreciate all your comments. Right, just say, hey, look, she appreciates it. Like she said, there's no pressure here, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, no pressure. So. And one of the most important things that we say every day is, if no one said that they love you, I love you very much. Which really simply means that I want you to live uh, your very best life, connected to all those things that give us an opportunity to live a really good, powerful life, connected to that would be the water, the fire, uh, earth, wind, air, all these things, the ceremonies and everything, all those things. And yeah. Okay. A couple of housekeeping announcements. Before we start in earnest, we are coming off two platforms. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's what I'm doing. We are on YouTube, Standing Bear, the author. YouTube channel. That's my channel, and that's right over there. We got a couple people over there now. Um, and if we have a problem with the connection, and we always seem to have a problem with the YouTube, with the Facebook here, it's always kind of a little glitchy type thing. So if there's any kind of issue, just go over there and yeah. Okay, I'm in Facebook jail again, so that's I'm in I'm under house arrest, so that's like I can't comment and I can't tag, I can't there's a bunch of stuff that I can't do. So just so you know, because there's a tag list, there was a comment the other day, like, why aren't you tagging me? And I said, well, I'm under, so let's so just be aware of that. And we are going over Whispers from the Hollow Bone, December 6th today. So that's a suggestion from you. Kind of tell us early, what we're going over, so we're not doing that at the last minute. So thank you for that. And let's begin in the usual way here. Let us begin with a little smudge here. You can smudge with, we use white sage here, which is a little white sage, which is fine. And as always, we ask for a volunteer. As always, we ask for a volunteer to keep this smoke going throughout the entire circle in remembrance for following the prayer of the grandmother out in Vancouver, British Columbia, in remembrance for the residential school children who never came home. And I spoke to her last week. We were texting each other, and I just simply added, could we add to that prayer? Because it's always polite to add to like, if you want to add something, to the family members who are still grieving and mourning. So and I have members of my family that have never come home from that. So it's direct. So there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. And let us begin in a good and beautiful way. Remember, the elders said, if it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. And if it doesn't begin with offering, then it really doesn't begin. So let's begin in a really good and beautiful way. If you would like to offer with us, that would be good. A little pinch from, a little help from above, a little help from below. And then get humanity, creator, great spirit, great mystery, through all my relations. Chi Megwit for our breath. Chi Megwit for our circle. Chi Megwit for our day. Chi Megwit for our life. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that place in between. We come here and circle. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way. Come here in a humble way and sacred way. We come here to align our hearts with the Great Spirit and the first prayer that ever was of harmony and balance. We come here for life. There could be many other reasons afterward, but we come here. That prayer in the center of the universe is about life. We come here for life. And not just our life, because that would be selfish. We want to be selfless. So we come here and we celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged, like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath. We say thank you. To the swimming nations and the fish nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water, we say thank you. To the wind nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air, we say thank you. To the creepy crawlies and the slitters and the insect nations, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth, we say thank you. To the four-legged nations, circles, and tribes, we understand you offer us and teach us so much about our humanity. We are so grateful. Thank you. And of course, to all other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well. And this makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We come here and we celebrate those things that give us life: air, water, fire, earth. We celebrate the 7 directions. For we understand that life, wisdom, love come from all directions, not just one. We come here and we celebrate the ones who have come before us, our ancestors. And remember, if they are our relatives here, then they are our ancestors over there. That means the first bear, the eagle, they are also our ancestors. And we are honored that they are still here and that they are still teaching us, and they still offer this beautiful thing called life and love to us. We are grateful for this. And all the other ancestors who are sitting here guiding, they walked in a good and beautiful way, and they still carry that prayer and that love with the relatives that are still here. The relatives still here still carry that beautiful, beautiful alignment and that beautiful prayer. So we are grateful for this. We are grateful for the Hawk Nations and all those other beautiful. Thank you for helping us. And we also understand that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed that along to us. We acknowledge this, and we understand this pain and this suffering. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge this is a time of great healing for the people of this planet, for the two-legged nations to come together and remind ourselves how beautiful that we can be. To understand that we are here to heal together. We understand this. And we understand this is a process. And it's okay not to be okay during this process. It's okay and during this process, we will understand that at some point that their wounds, their hurts, were not for us to carry. They are not ours to own, but ours to heal from. There's a big difference between the two. And we do not do this for selfish reasons. What we do is to carry this healing to the next 7 generations, where we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned it to us. So we are at the intersection between two unseen worlds. They hear and see everything that we do. They're sitting here in the same circle we are. What a beautiful time and place and opportunity to break the chains, to break the cycle of addiction, drinking, violence. We don't have to do this anymore. We can break the cycle, and we can do that right here, right now. And what an opportunity it is, what a privilege it is to sit in the same circle with you. What a privilege. This is our birthright to come here and heal and sit together today, this morning, this time, and to use these words. And there is a well-worn path laid out before us, but we can only see it with our hearts. That means we only see it with beautiful intentions, prayerful intentions, absolute prayerful intentions. That means I come here to heal. I heal myself as part of a larger circle. We come here for love, come here for light, come here to be the peacemakers, because some of us don't know how. Come here to heal ourselves. I want my prayers represented in the next 7 generations, and I don't know how to do that. So we come here in circle and we find out. We come here, we walk this red road, the road of wellness, the road of all people, all nations, circles, and tribes. The great hoop, the great sacred hoop of life. It is the journey and the destination right here. And along this path, we are here to make good relations with each other, to find out intimately, both seen and unseen, to find our family members and to love upon them. But we can't do it alone, but we can always do it together. Humility, truth, honesty, wisdom, respect, courage, and love. These are the teachings that are along this path. So let us sit with these. Let us sit with humility. This is the doorway that will help open up our hearts and our minds to build a better future and to heal ourselves and to break those chains. and the indigenous people here on Turtle Island. We do not own this road. We are stewards of this road. We're here to offer this road to all others, to share our teachings and to share our wisdom and to share our love, to honor, place of honor that we sit here, to help each other, to guide each other. And maybe we will understand a little bit more the longer we sit here. The first prayer at the center of the universe, the first prayer that ever was of harmony and balance. All right. All right. Well, again, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Once again, my name is Kaneepa with Macwa, Standing Bear, Soda Shy Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe. Welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle. It is and we're just going to take our time this morning. It's Sunday, and we're just going to, maybe you're out there taking a long drive, or just sitting there in your living room having coffee, or sitting in the kitchen just having coffee here, like myself. So, a couple things before we start in earnest. Welcome to, there's a couple new people here. I guess they said they were going to join us today. I can't see them in the feed, but if you're new here, welcome. If you're newer here, welcome. And if you've been here, welcome back. So, a couple things again before we begin in earnest. Hollow bones, and would love to hear your definition of hollow bones. That's a beautiful thing. And there was a question the other day. Well, why don't you just read, you show us the script every now and then and just read the definition of. Well, it's really important that as we grow with spirit, with understanding, with depth and weight, that so will our understanding of hollow bones. So the general definition that I use is we understand that there's a life force out there. It is represented in the wind, the fire, the rain, all these things, the birds, the bees, the songs, the sunrise, the sunset, the rain, it is represented in everything. So we want to connect to those things. Connect to this life force. That's part one. And part two is, so we connect to it. Right? So we feel better. We're connected to the fire. We're connected to the trees. We're grateful and all that. And remember, this is a process. This isn't like a destination, right? So we're always growing in spirit. We're growing in alignment. Growing in connection, right? So the next part, and this is where the two-legged, really struggle is because we are selfish in many, many ways, and that's part of the struggle that we are pushing through. So the gentle thing is, so we give prayers, we give life. So we offer life, and that you can write down. Where's my pen here? That you can write down. So, the more we give, the more we have. Like that old saying, the more love we give, the more love we have left over after. It's the same thing, right? So the more we're grateful, the more gratitude we have, and then there's the more things we are grateful for. It's natural spiritual law, right? That's the deal. So let's get into the practice of what we do here and what Grandfather Tony said. Well, let's be grateful, and then it opens up that beautiful, powerful door. And just from a personal standpoint, I was not happy being grateful. I was not happy being grateful. Because I thought the world owed me something because of all the trauma and abuse that I had endured and suffered through my early years. That there was that the sickness of entitlement, right? That I came here, well, because this happened to me, and now, you owe me type thing. Well, really, that's a different prayer. That's a prayer for that's a prayer of sickness, right? So what we do here is we switch that prayer back into life, back into love, back into wisdom, back into breath, back into connection. That it's really and the transition, like it doesn't have to be painful, right? the transition is usually once, and my experience is once I get down to it, it's really gentle. It's really kind. Right. So Grandfather Tony taught me this. Because I come from a really brutal place, right? My past is pretty brutal, right? So then Grandfather Tony was talking to me in a gentle tone way, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm looking at him like, angry, right? Angry, because that was my default mode, angry, just like, you know. But there was a beautiful, powerful gentleness there, and gentleness is a superpower, right? Like I found that out. Like he didn't want anything from me like the rest of the world, and I had never met a man like that before. And you want to know what hollow bones is? That's hollow bones. And I'm freaking looking at him like waiting for the other shoe to drop or something to happen, right? I'm just sitting there waiting for it because I know something's going to happen. I know something's going to happen, like in the back of my mind, sitting with Grandfather Tony. And I said, well, there's got to be something here. You know what? I'm still waiting, And you know what? It got through my mind that he just wants me to live my very best life. And here, I'm offering you what Grandfather Tony offered me. Just, hey, this is the opportunity to live a really good, beautiful, powerful life. So, we connect to life here. And then we offer life here. It's the same circle. It's the same ceremony, right? That's exactly what we do here every day. I love you. That's what that means, right? Hollow bones, love, the same thing, right? Walking the red road, it's the same thing. Medicine, it's the same thing, right? Alignment, it's the same thing, right? And so, thank you for that comment and the questions. Again, as we change, as we understand, we're like, that gentle, beautiful thing, right? Like, oh my God! And you know what? We're going to talk about it today. Stillness and patience. We're going to go over Whispers from Hollowbone. December 6th. So if we could put that in the feed, YouTubers, if you could, I don't know if you can put that in the feed over there. Maybe you could just introduce yourself to everybody on YouTube. Just kind of introduce yourself so everybody gets to know you. Everybody is welcome here. Okay, ancestors and elders. So it's really traditional. That we thank those who have come before us. Here, thank you to Grandfather Tony Stonehawk. Been with him for 30 years now. Thank you to all those other men and women of medicine who have guided me in such a really good and beautiful way. Thank you to the Muslims and Cookums of the Fishing Lake First Nation who have guided me back and welcomed me in such a good and beautiful way back to my ancestral land. So thank you for that. Again, this is a place of great gratitude, right? Gratitude really opens up those spiritual doors, right? Like without it, there's something missing. Without gratitude, again, this is always about gratitude, always about thank you, always about offering. So we are offering gratitude back to the circle, and that is also giving life. That is also connecting life. That is also humility. That's also love. So it's not just. It's really important that we understand how beautiful, powerful, gentle, kind it is to walk in this beautiful place called gratitude. Without it, we don't know humility. And humility is one of those things that Grandfather Tony really, I don't know, he worked with me a long time, with humility. And until I got to that point where it says humility is a teammate. Humility is there to help me, right? Right, and write that down. Humility is there to help us and to guide us. It's a place of love and light, right? And I didn't understand that, and so that's why we go over ancestors and elders. That's why we do that, right? So you guys are awesome. I just love you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, circle medicine. All right. So circle medicine. This is what we look like right here. This is a braid of sweetgrass for you newcomers. Braid of sweetgrass right here. This is what it looks like right there. Oh, smells real good too. So So we are all intertwined and overlapping right there. That's all of us right here. That's we got 24, 25 of us over on Facebook, and we got 5 people over there. So this is all of us right here. We are all intertwined and overlapping. This is also us and the ancestors. This is also us and the truth. This is also us and humility, right? That's so it's really beautiful and really powerful once we sit with it, you know. And it's again we're just gonna take our time this morning. So once we sit with this, once we physically hold on to this, right? You know, once we smell it, once there's gratitude, then we really it takes on a new depth and weight, right? That's why we carry the medicine, right? Because it's so beautiful and so powerful, right? See, we just, and I just know, like I know, that we are related. That many of you I will never meet in my life, but I still know you intimately, like Kim and Sybil and Leah and Danielle. I know that you're sitting right here with me, and you have love in your heart. I know that, like I know that, because I hold on to this, right? That's why it's so important to carry the medicine, to hold the medicine, to pray with the medicine, to pray for the medicine, to honor the medicine, to thank the medicine. That's why it's so important. We don't carry this around just to look cool, man. We won't have medicine pouches and medicine bags just to, go out there and, it's not an ego thing. This is a life offering. So I surround myself with those things that give us life. Write that down. The medicine is not your own. It is there to guide us, to give us life, right? And also, one of those things is that I know all medicine is borrowed, right? So eventually, this will be offered to somebody else. Eventually, this will be offered, and I know it like I know it, and I'm so grateful to have that here with me now, because I know in next year in 5 minutes it's going to be offered. Whatever spirit tells me that it's going to be offered, and just to know that I held this medicine in a good and beautiful way, and now I get to offer. This is part of sharing the life and love. Like the more we honor this, the more we pray with this, and then we offer it to somebody else, then they get all those prayers, and they're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, it's so powerful, right? Right? So, anyway, I'm on a roll here this morning. So, thank you, the Great Spirit, for that. Sacred Feminine. Okay. So, circle medicine is about equality, right? It's about we're all life is equal, right? There's no hierarchy. There's no this. There's no that. We are all equal, right? And again, there was a comment yesterday. Again, so we'll just go over it again. Um, uh, just because, and this is a general thing, and this goes specifically towards the sacred feminine, right? So, the womb space, sacred. You are sacred. You are beautiful, powerful, and sacred. Right? That's it. But just know that it's not but but there was a comment. Daughter's been arrested again, right? But I don't feel she's really that sacred, because, well, no, that's not it. That's not the determiner. I agree that's a place of healing, right? But that doesn't take away her beauty, her sacredness. It does not, right? Just not. Right? If a tree gets sick, does that make that tree any less sacred? No. It needs a place of healing, right? If a dog gets sick, is that dog as a family pet, does that dog make it any less, right? Right. Like if something happens to the dog, like if a dog gets hit by a car, does it make it any less? No, right? Things happen and things happen to us. We have to hold. That's what's so important here. We hold that truth so beautiful. Said, I love you, and I love you no matter what. I love you when you get sick. I love you when you heal. I love you when it rains. I love you on Tuesday. It's like that, right? But when we start, and that's a colonialism, putting those butts there. But you know, but you relapsed, and you are less sacred because of that. No, that's not it. That means we gather. We are the peacemakers. We gather. That's what that means. We don't run the other direction, and it's because we're spiritually dyslexic, right? So we run the other direction when somebody gets sick. Like, oh my God, it's like, oh my God, yeah. No, if they're sick, let's run away. Yeah, yeah. What the medicine really is, to come, the medicine is in the gathering. Write that down. That's how we find out how sacred things are and how sacred they are to us. And when they leave, there's a piece of us that leaves with them, right? And so eventually, like if you're judging and opinion everybody, then we're left with nothing, right? That's the other end of the spectrum. And I've been there too. I've been judging everybody till and I'm just like, and I'm sitting here alone in my room, right? You know. But thank God there's a circle for us to go to. Thank God there was a Grandfather Tony for us to go to, right? And Grandfather Tony is still here, right? He's flowing through us, right? Well, anyway, I love you guys. Question of the day. So please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. We had a bunch. We had like 30 or 40 questions yesterday, or not questions, comments concerning questions yesterday. Not sure if I got around to all of them, but here's another beautiful question, and um, and also, you know what? There's a before we begin, um, there was a young lady, and I just want to. I'm not going to address her by name, but there's a young lady that said, there's a question that I want to ask you, but I feel really stupid, right? You know, this is a time of great gentleness, right? This is a time of great safety, right? You are allowed to ask those questions, right? Like if you heard some of the questions that I asked to Grandfather Tony 30 years ago, it'd be like, So please feel free. We honor that, right? And every question that you ask, it doesn't come here on like if you say, hey, just between us, this is what I need to know, then that's fine, right? Usually I will ask if, hey, can I use this in the question of the day segment, right? So don't feel like I'm going to say your name or anything like that. It's not a place of embarrassment. We are here to encourage each other. The only question that I can acknowledge is the one that you don't ask. So please, I love you. Big hugs going out to her. So okay. Great question today. What's the difference between honesty and truth? Great question. What's the difference between honesty and truth? Okay, so there is there's a colonial definition, which we'll kind of go over. That's fine too. Here, hold on, let me go. Actually, you know what? We're just going to go over. Okay, honesty. This is one. This is one of the 7 teachings, right? We talked about this. Kind of stems from yesterday's message: hearing and listening, right? So honesty and truth. What's the difference between honesty and truth? Okay, so honesty, medicine wheel teachings, the 7 sacred. This is a law. This is a natural, sacred law. This is universal truth, right? So we align ourselves with this universal truth, and we are all growing with in understanding, right? That's the preamble, right? Right, that's it. So we're growing with greater understanding, with more depth and weight. This is not like there's no finish line here. There's no graduation there. There's no, Grandfather Tony is yet to come up to me and say, now you are, 100% truth. No, because it's just not like that. That's a colonialism. I'm here to still grow. I've been here 30 years, but I'm still here to grow in depth and weight and understanding the world around me and where I fit in and how I can help and honor and love. I'm still in that place, right? And that's a beautiful place to be because it leaves that door open for more love, for more, and that's just that's a great place. So, honesty, Sabe, big people. That's what is here in Soto country. That's what is represents Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They don't like being called Bigfoot. They don't like being called Sasquatch. They like being called big people. So just saying that. So reminds us to be ourselves. What does that mean to you? To be yourself. To be where you are in understanding of what's your relationship, and just be that place, right? Be that place, right? And it reminds us to remind us what we are not, right? Right, right. That's honesty. That's what it is. It's the self, where we are in our relationship to the world, and we are all growing in depth and weight, right? So we're all different. So there's like 25, 30 people. So we're all over the map, and that's okay. That's okay. So we're still standing in a place of equality, even though we're still learning and growing. But the beautiful thing is, the powerful thing is, right, this now brings tears to us. We are growing together. That's the thing. But we can't grow together if we're pretending to be something, that we're not. Like if we're sad, depressed, lonely, that's okay. That's not a place of blame, shame, guilt. That's just a gauge to tell us, hey, look, there's some work for us to do, right? Right? Let's sit together. Let's pray. Let's pray together. This is, and grandfather, thank you to grandfather Tony. It's just like he said, we'll do this as many times as you need. Right? We'll go back to lot as many times as you need. When you made a mistake, okay, we'll just go back to lot. That's it. There's no judgment. There's no nothing. We just sit there, and so I offer that we'll do this as many times as you need. That's it. That's okay. That's okay. That's what I'm here for, right? That's what the hollow bones. That's my medicine. I'm here. That's to carry on that beautiful power and the strength that grandfather and his grandfathers before him. He comes from a long lineage of like powerful, powerful. They would say medicine men, but I don't say that. So. Walking with integrity is knowing our relationship with the world. And it's also knowing that, hey, look, it's a place of humility, right? Right? So, honesty has relatives. Write that down, right? Write that down. And the relatives are, wisdom, courage, love, respect, truth. So we're focusing on honesty, but there's others parts of it too. So okay, so the turtle, truth. So slow, methodical, meticulous, understands the journey, understands the destination. Right? Look, it's like destination is healing. There's no finish line there. The destination is alignment, right? There's no finish line. It's just, hey, look, let's grow. And the truth is applying. Application of. That's the truth, right? Application of humility, right? Application of love. Application of, here's one. Praying for our enemies. That's the truth. Application of where are you? And this is not about good or bad, blame, shame, or guilt. So we leave that at the door as we sit in here. We can pick it up. We can pick up that place of misery anytime we want, but I choose to be like, okay, I think I'll just leave it over there. That's a colonialism to say, Wayne, you made a mistake, so now you are a mistake type thing. That's a colonialism. That's not the truth. That's something else, right? So blame, shame, guilt, just leave it at the door. I love you. My love for you is not dependent on, like if you like sober, I love you only if you're sober. Oh, okay. Like you made a mistake last week. No, I don't love you anymore. You can't show up here. No, that's not it. That's not part of the truth, right? The truth is the application of these things. How are you walking, right? Right. Yeah. Of application of these humility, of love, of honesty, right? Right. Like if you're like like if you're struggling with drugs and alcohol, and then that's where you are. Be honest about that, right? And then that's your truth, right? And then start doing those things. Apply the truth to help you get out of that place, right? That's the difference, right? Knowing and then applying. That's the difference right there. So, okay. I love you guys. And you know what? I've sat hours walking, hours and hours, but weekends, just talking with Grandpa and Tony about this, you know. Just Grandpa. And, you know, Tony was one that brings tear smiles. Tony was like, we'll just go over this as many times as you want. So if we need to go over this again, that's okay. Just say, hey, look, you know, and also, I forgot to bring this up during the announcement. What we do here is obviously being recorded, and it will be downloaded to my YouTube channel. And YouTubers, I love you. And so there's a whole library. So just mark down this date and you know, just scroll through and you know, we'll go through it. You know, so you can go through it. It's a library of information what we do over here. So just go through it. So I love you. Okay, so we are right on time. So Whispers from the Hollow Bone, December 6th. YouTubers, we kind of put that in the feed for kind of everybody. It's kind of what we do over here on Facebook, so everybody can read. Or you can go out and get your own copies. That would be good too. So Whispers from the and I realize you can see this backwards. I get a comment every day. We see it backwards. I know that. So, okay. So what we do here, if you're new here, we're going to read it a couple of times, develop a general impression. Again, a general impression is what? Honesty. Hey, this is what I get, right? This is a beautiful, and I don't set this up, right? So, honesty. So there's 30, 40 people here, you know, between the two. So we're all over the map. Just say, hey, this is what I get out of it. This is where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's okay. That's being, and then the truth is, the medicine is a gathering. There's going to be a beautiful alignment there. That means it's going to look like that. That means we feel better. We're like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, I feel so much better. Oh my God, you know, that's how I feel when I sit with Grandfather Tony. I'm like, oh man, I feel so good. I mean, like, you know, like there's hope there, right? I'm like, oh my God, I'm really not that bad after all. Like, you know, and I said that a lot, you know, especially early in my journey because I was really clumsy, you know, slipping all the time and all that. Oh, so, okay. There's a lot of notes on this guy, so I'm just going to read it from here. So, there is a stillness and patience inside each and every one of us. It is not a remote place or deep place. It is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature, which we are born with. Wow. You want to talk about a game changer? This is it right here, right? There is a stillness and a patience inside each and every one of us. It is not a remote place or a deep place. It is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Earth, which we are born with. You know. Right. Wow. Wow. Right. You know, but let's just start off a little contrast medicine, right? Patience. You know, they're talking about stillness and patience. There's not a lot of that in the world that we live in, right? Like that colonial world, like we enter into that agreement, and it is an agreement. It is a choice, right? We can physically be in it, but we can spiritually be somewhere else, right? That's the choice. That's the truth. That's the honesty, right? We don't need to be inundated with, you know, with their colonial systems, right? Right. Right. I mean, we have to be a little bit in it, right? There, you know, that's just the practical end. The practical is spiritual, right? There's not an island anywhere we can all go and just sit and be separated completely from, right? Right? That's not practical, but here's the thing, right? Not to say I didn't think about that. I've thought about that, right? So, and again, this is just contrast medicine. So we know that world out there, chaos, crisis, calamity, right? Which leads to sadness, loneliness, depression. That's the medicine that they offer. The world of separation, they will separate us to death. They do it all the time. They give us a sickness, and then they give us they give us a sickness, and then they give us the treatment, right? The treatment. They'll give us a cure, because but they, like, they make us sick, and then they give us the help, right? It's really twisted, right? It's really twisted what they do. So, that's part of the calamity. That's part of the crisis. They create the crisis, and then they bring in that system to help us from that crisis, right? So it's really a twisted system, right? So let's read this again. There is a stillness. Okay. Remember, let's talk about this. Let's begin with the spirit. Everything begins with the spirit. It took me a long time to figure that out. A long time, right? So, well, because I was so inundated with what was going on with the world, with the crisis, the cops, all this stuff, Black Lives Matter, and all this stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I can't handle it, right? My grandfather said, what do we do here? We create and honor that place of stillness. Everything begins with the spirit. When we sit in a circle right now, there's a breath of fresh air, right? There's a breath. That breath of fresh air, we are getting to know intimately that place of stillness. Not a place of loneliness, but a place of stillness. That place of oneness. That place of unity, right? Oh my God, this is so beautiful, man! Wow, I'm like, wow, that's how I feel right now. That's what that's the beautiful flow that's coming here, right? Even though there's calamity outside that door, the colonial world, there's still a place here. There's still a place that I can come, and thank God, thank Creator, that there's a place that we can come to and honor that place of stillness, right? And then it's a little bit in your face, and then if you want to enter into that agreement again, right, then you bring that calamity, chaos, back into your physical being, and then once it comes into physical being, then it comes into mental, emotional, and then eventually spiritual, right? Right? That means sadness, loneliness, depression. That means, and that invites all sorts of like spiritual sickness, right? Well, there is a place of stillness. What time is it? Okay. Wow, we're kind of running over. Okay, so we're just gonna run over today. So there is. I try to keep it to an hour. I fail miserably every time, but okay. There's a place of stillness. Okay, stillness. What is stillness? Everything begins with the spirit, right? What does that mean? This is critical that we know this. We can't gloss over, right? Right. Absence of movement, sound, maybe. Cool. That's good enough for now. That's good enough for now. And patience. Right. What is our definition for patience? What did Grandfather Tony teach us? Patience is a place of preparation, right? Preparation. So it's different than the colonial, right? Patience is preparation, right? So preparation is what represented through what? Stillness, right? Stillness of the mind, right? Right. But how do we get there? And it tells us how we get there, right? Because our minds, right? And if you have, I used to have 13 squirrels running around my head. I mean, there was a talk radio, there was sports radio, there was, all sorts of radios in my head, and like they were all going in different volumes at the same time, and I'm just, and that's a representative of the world that we lived in. That's the medicine in that the world, right? You know, but there's a way to dismiss that completely, right? There's a way to communicate that dismiss. So, there's too many minds, right? Right. Too many minds, right? We need one mind, right? This is how we do it. One mind is that place of stillness, right? And again, this is the application of integrity, the truth, and humility coming together, right? So, and I don't know how this works every time. The question and the reading, it always kind of like lines up. And believe me, I'm not that clever to do that every day. I'm just not. Right. So, one mind. Our ancestors said one mind, one heart, one prayer, one ceremony, one love. And it's not that. One heart, one mind, one prayer, one love, right? One ceremony. Right? Also, what stillness and patience bring is our ability to be right here, right now, right? To be present right here, to be all in right here, because it's there's a sickness from the colonial world, that place of separation. So that means one mind is over there, one part of our heart is back in yesterday. We're worrying about tomorrow, what's going to happen. Maybe got some financial issues. I got some health issues going on. I'm just like, but the healing is, the love is found right here in this moment, right? So even though there's some health issues going on in my life, and again, I'm going through this, right? I'm going through this, like in my personal life, but there's some things inside of me that I don't know what they are, right? Right? So there's a place of I don't know what it is. Like this could be my final chapter, right? Like I don't want to be dramatic, but this could be it, right? This could, beginning of, the end type thing, right? But I know that right here this is where my healing begins, right? I'm on that healing journey, no matter which way it goes at the end of this chapter. And this is my healing journey, right? And I have to be right here present, and I have to be right here present with you, right? Stillness, one mind. But how do we get there? Let's talk about this. So let's get into this. So stillness and a patience. So they're telling us is inside. That's an inside job. Inside, right, unseen. Unseen. So, we live in two worlds. This is getting really beautiful, really quick. I love you. So, and it's just going to get better. We live in a seen world and we live in an unseen world. So when they say inside, that's the spiritual part, right? So there's a physical and spiritual, seen and unseen. That's what they're referring to. And this is just beautiful. This is like, there is a stillness and a patience inside each and every one of us. Right, one of us here, there, like this, there. One of us. See, I mapped it out. Everyone, so one of us, and that is so beautiful. I've been talking an hour about that. That is so beautiful. It's so powerful. One of us. That is into direct reference to the circle of life, the sacred truth. That's in direct reference to the sacred laws that we are already a part of. Right. So there's an elder that I'm sitting with, and we are to get connected to the sacred laws, right? We are to make good relations, to maintain good relations, to deepen these relations with the sacred laws, which are humility, truth, honesty, wisdom, courage, respect, and love, right? As we move through this, as we grow closer to these, we find out, which is exactly what they're saying here, is that we are already a part of this love. You are already love. And this is not a woo-woo, this is not a woo-woo kind of like new agey kind of thing. It's not that at all. That means love. Love is able to connect to honor. Love connect with the truth. What is your truth? What is your, where are you in relationship with honesty, right? Hey, some of us, some of us drank last week. A couple of you reached out and said, I got 3 days again, but I'm good. So, whatever it is, I said, I love you. Right? I love you. Come back to the circle. Let's sit with the circle. That was a beautiful thing. That wasn't a blame, shame, guilt thing. That was the most loving thing that you could do. Right? Honesty. Here, write this down. Honesty is the most loving thing that you can do. Right? Like if you made a mistake last week, that's okay. Honesty, that's the most loving thing you can do. Come back to the circle and sit with us, right? Right. And the more we do that, the more we see that place is already inside us. That place of humility and love. So, it is not a remote place or a deep place. That's telling us it's not far away. That's simply what they're saying. It's not far away. It's already here. Write that down. Right? It's already here. It's already here. Right? Let's go back to the circle medicine. This is all coming together in such a good and beautiful way. Right? Like we sit with this together, we find out all these beautiful things, and one of those beautiful things that we find out is that we're already at this beautiful, this beautiful place of love. We're like, oh my God, right? I thought the world determined my love. I thought my mistakes determined my love. Because that's what the world was telling me. And Grandfather said, no, our relationship, our understanding to it is also mirroring how loving we are. And that's a beautiful thing. Look at that. This mirrors us, right? This is us. This is you and love. So this is Kimberly, Sybil, Shelley. This is our relationship with love. We are intertwined and overlapping. That's it. Hold on to that. Just sit with that a second, I remember sitting in ceremony with Grandfather. I think it was a men's lodge, and I think it had to be men's lodge. And these men were explaining this to me, and I'm tears running down. I'm like, no, I'm not. I am forever wounded. Don't you understand? That's who I am. And they said, no. Something. Let's here. Change gears. Something beautiful brought you here. That's it. Something beautiful brought you here. To this circle at this time in this place. It's not an accident that you were here. What do you think brought you here? Right? That beautiful place of love that you already are. If that doesn't choke you up, then I don't know what will. It's just kind of like there's something that created the universe that brought you here. Every part of you. Creator didn't say this morning, Shelley, you made a lot of mistakes, man. I don't know if I'm going to allow you to go to this circle. You know what? It's just like, or Nina, or Danielle, or Kim, whoever it is, Wayne, you made too many mistakes. You weren't disqualified from this place of stillness, patience, and love. No, quite the opposite. Creator brought us, the Great Spirit brought us here together to sit with, to understand, to love this beautiful moment that we are in together. Is that just like unbelievable? Like we sit with that. After everything that we've been through, every mistake that we've ever made, consciously or unconsciously, Creator brought us here. Stillness with stillness. To this beautiful place beautiful time, this beautiful circle that, and as someone said the other day, I love the circle that we're in. I said, that you brought. I said, it's not my circle. I don't own this. My truth is the circle that this is the circle that was brought to me, and now I'm sharing some grandfather's children. That's all, I'm just like a middleman here. That's all I am. That's all I do. I'm not like anyone special. I'm not that. I'm just a regular. I'm a guy sitting in Saskatchewan right now. That's all I am. Right. That's all I ever want to be is part of the circle. Right. That guy. We are just part of this beautiful and once we realize it, once we sit with that, there's a beautiful place of stillness. That stillness is already within us. Like, oh my God, it's just like, oh my God, it's like, okay, good. And it's found alongside the rhythm, and here's where it gets better. It's found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature. The rhythm, the harmony, the balance. That's what that means. Regular, repeated harmony and balance. It just got really dynamic, really. The harmony and balance. It is found alongside the rhythm. That means the same circle. That's what that means. The same circle. I love you. I love you, right? Unbelievable. Found alongside the same circle, the rhythm and balance of Mother Earth, right? So that love that we're looking for is never that far away. That connection, that alignment that we're looking for, the heartbeat, that gentleness and this is stillness and patience, because that gives us the vision that was there, that couldn't be there in chaos, right? That's why they're doing that. That's the setup. That's the setup to a really great life. Is that stillness and that patience. That's the setup. Write that down. So we create this beautiful place of stillness. That means the 30-day challengers know exactly what I'm talking about because they're already doing it, right? That's the truth. That's the honesty right there. They're already doing it, right? They're already that intentional place, right? We have to be intentional. This is a doing world. I'm not a beggar. I don't want to be a beggar. That world tells me, the other world tells me that, faith, you have to beg for everything. You just beg for this. And you know what? And I did that, and it got me nowhere. It got me more misery. And just, it just held me in that beggar, like someday, I'm going to be sober someday, and someday just give me sobriety. No, I got to go out and do it. That's the truth. I got to go out and do this thing called life. That's the truth. I got to do this thing, right? We're living in a doing world, not a begging world. Write that down. Don't get the few too confused, right? Don't get it too confused, right? Like if you want to beg, go to that place and beg. I'd rather come over here, sit with and pray with you and for you. That's what I want to do, right? And because I do that, that place of stillness, that place of one mind comes in. That place of patience comes in, right? Patience not only for myself, but with the circle, right? Not everybody's well in this circle. Not everybody has my best intentions in mind in this circle. Sometimes they lash out at me. The very people I'm sitting with lash out at me, right? The place of patience. Okay, all right. Sometimes they jerk again. This woman I was talking to now, she's been, she's out there, and I'm getting messages from, her mother, and just like that, she said the other day how much she dislikes the circle. And I'm like, well, that's a place of sickness. That's not a place of anything we do, right? That's okay. That's a place of patience. I love you. I don't want anything from you. I just want to be happy. I want to be sober, and I want to be happy. But you know what? To get there, we have to do some work, right? Right? We have to do some work. We have to put some skin in the game. We have to get in the game, and then we have to finish. We have to finish strong, right? That means if you're like people in recovery, right? You have to do the work. You have to do it. Right? You have to do the work. Otherwise, you're just waiting around for another whatever. You're just waiting around. Right? And as people, and Grandfather Tony waiting around a long time for this bear, right? to actually do the work, right? Hey, look, like if you're in 12-step program, do 12 steps, right? You do that. That's integrity, right? You know, yeah, like if you do the 30-day challenge, do the 30-day challenge, set it up. That's the setup right here. That's the beauty, that's the power, that's the setup, right? Right. I want to set myself up with a really beautiful, powerful life. And one, I can't do it alone. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without the medicine. I can't do it without the elders. I can't do it without the trees. I can't do it without the water. That's my road, right? I can't do it without anyone. So I include everybody, right? That's the setup, right? Everybody's included, right? Right? A place of beautiful gratitude and humility. And what gratitude and humility is, let's bring this full circle, is the rhythm of life. The rhythm, that's the natural flow and natural rhythm. That was the setup, right? But if we're not there, then we'll never know, right? Right. You will never know the rhythm until you start physically showing up and doing the work, right? And that's my brutal, honest truth was, I refused to do the work. I refused to show up, and I expected the results. Because that is the definition for entitlement. Right. That's the definition. I was telling everybody what to do and how to do it before I did the work myself. That's the representation of entitlement. Right. 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 That's telling you guys what you got to do without telling me, what I actually did. That's not honest. That's not the truth, right? But until we line up, the truth and the honesty, gratitude, we will never understand the natural rhythms. That's what they're saying here. We will never understand the natural rhythms until we align ourselves with those natural rhythms. And write that down. The natural rhythm is gratitude. The natural rhythm is humility. Like if you're wondering what it is. And really, and every single one of these has a beautiful power and a heartbeat and a song, right? That's the deeper thing, right? In other words, it just gets better, right? Gratitude gets better, but without it, we will never know, and we will remain in that place of sickness, right? That's beautiful. That's just like, and this is my journey walking through that. Like I get up every morning, I'm excited to wake up, man. I'm excited to sit here with you because I love you, right? No one's paying me to do this, but I get paid in other ways, right? Offering this. And you know what? There's so many ways to find that rhythm, right? That rhythm is found in all the medicines, right? It looks a little different, right? You go to rhythm, you go to fire, you can go to all these things to find that rhythm. But everything begins with the spiritual, right? That's the physical, right? I mean, you can go to physical, right? But remember, as you're sitting with the physical, it has a spiritual component to it, right? Connect to that spiritual component first. Otherwise, it's just a fire, and it's never just a fire. Oh yeah, there's some nice water there. Yeah, that's nice water, right? So we physically acknowledge the physical beauty, but we don't connect to the spiritual power of it, right? That spiritual flow, the spiritual water. So we have to be really direct and really clear, right? That's also finding the rhythm of prayerful, that beautiful prayerful place, going to that, hey, like that's why we open up with prayer to set up so we can connect to the natural rhythm, which is what? Again, hollow bones. Right? This is all related and all connected, right? So, this is this is a snapshot of what we do every day, because we set up, we offer ourselves, and now we're feeling better. Now we're like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so bright. This is this beautiful Mother Nature. Okay, the sacred feminine. We're just going to run way over to that. I love you guys. So the sacred feminine. That's what they're saying here, right? That's what the colonial world dismisses, right? Because it brings back that nurturing place. The beginning of what life comes from the sacred feminine. And guess what? The colonial world doesn't want us to have that beautiful life because they dismiss it. They conveniently always dismiss it. Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. That's where it begins. Not a sacred feminine site. Unbelievable. And people believe this stuff, right? 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 It has to begin with the sacred feminine. It has to begin with it. Right? We have to offer it, be it, understand it, so we can have what? New beginnings, right? We are celebrating and like to bring it full circle. So the ones, I'm getting fired up here. I'm fixing it. So, okay, too late. So, so as we go to the east, we face that east, that's a beautiful sacred feminine ceremony. Hey, look, thank you for the new day. Thank you for life. Thank you for being birthed again. Thank you for new beginnings. That sounds a lot like the sacred feminine, right? So we are reborn again, not in a churchy Christian way, but in a spiritual way. Thank you for life. What can I do here? Thank you for life. What can I do? So our prayers here, write this down. Like you want to live a really good, beautiful life, this is what you do. Hey, offer life, and see how your world changes. What can I offer life? Right? Here. How can I help my sisters? If you're a sacred, how can I help my sisters? Hey, how can I help my brothers? Hey, how about this? The Great Spirit offered you life. Offer the Great Spirit. Hey, how can I help you? To the Eagle Nation, what can I help you? To the Bear Nation, what can I help you? To Mother Earth, how can I help you? See how your life changes. That is the beginning of abundance right there. There you go. Right. This is so beautiful and so powerful. Right. You make it as powerful as you want. We're not on the whims of the colonial world. They turn, and this is just contrast, man. They turn us into a begging. So we beg the government for this. We beg the government for that. We beg the church for salvation, whatever that. We say no, thank you. No, we live that conscious connection. That's what we do. That's it. So we are non-participant. So we do not non-compliance in those spiritual ways. We don't participate, but we come here and we create a beautiful life. Right? We come here and we create a beautiful life, no matter what. Write that down. Make that your statement for your life. Right? That's the statement. I will live a beautiful life no matter what. Right? Right. That's like kind of eye of the tiger type stuff, right? It's kind of like, wow. Right. Right. That is a statement to Creator. That is a statement also to what? The next 7 generations. I'm going to live a beautiful life no matter what. And imagine, use your imagination here, and this is really beautiful, that the next 7 generations hears everything you say. No matter what, I will not live in that fear. I will create something new. That's honesty. That's the truth. And start living that truth. And start connecting to all of these things, no matter what. That's the power right there. That's the power that we're supposed to have. That's that new consciousness. That's a new, beautiful consciousness that we all have the ability, that we're already right there. We don't have to, it says here, we don't have to go very far. We are born with it. Where's my mic? I just got a mic, so there's me dropping it, right? I love you. I love you. Right. Danielle says, I'm here to help. Absolutely. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you. I love you. No matter what. Make that conscious connection with no matter what. And you will live a beautiful, powerful life. Right. And really, like, taking a step back here is we've already changed the world by what we've done here. It's not what Standing Bear has done. It's what we have done here. We've changed the world. We've altered the course of humanity by what we have done here. It's, Grandfather Tony said, one time I never forgot it, it's like that drop of rain coming down, hitting that pond, rippling out in all directions. That's what they felt that across the universe because of what we've done here. That's the deal. And just imagine that, just know that, Right. I don't know. That's the powerful. That's the powerful thing, you know. So, what time is it? We've run way over. So, okay. So, um, this is from you guys. This is from the Sacred Feminine inside the circle. I love you guys. What is your takeaway? What is your takeaway? What are you going to take away from what we have done here this morning? Where are you going to take it? That means hit that share button, right? You're not sharing me, you're sharing us, right? So share this, and I'm not sure if I can share it. I think I can. Hit that share. I can't tag anybody, but hit this. Where are you going to spiritually take this? Where does spirit have to go, and when and where are you going to take this? You know, that's the definition of takeaway right there, right? Right. That's it. So share this across social media, everything. Yeah, everything. Share it across there, but really, it has to go here. That's the deal, right? That's your takeaway right here. Is putting this, what we've done back in your. This is what changes life. Okay. Couple of announcements. I'm going to be traveling to Europe here. So to my European brothers and sisters, very excited to be sitting with you. We're going to be in Germany and we're going to be in Hungary. So if you want more information about that, just private message me. A couple people did. A couple people yesterday and the day before. So it looks like the first event in Germany is going to be an overflow event. So that's great. I love you. So so there also, we are going to do a journey through the seasons and through Denise Miller and myself. So Journey Through the Seasons, September 20th. Write this on your calendar. September 24th through the 26th. So it's a 3-day intensive. You think this is good? Imagine, me, grandmother Denise Miller, and myself. We feed off each other. It's really, really beautiful, really powerful, really great. So if you want information about that, please let me know. So, okay. Close your eyes. Think about that takeaway. Think about that takeaway. Right. I love you. Close your eyes. And so this is grounding medicine. Just because it looks like this. This is a Danny Goodman flute. G note. So. Once again, the final word is this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here, loved here, and learned here, and listened to here, and take it out to the four winds. This is no good to be all spiritual here if we don't take it out there. My name is Kanipa Whitmack, Standing Bear. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day.